Hello and welcome back to Pod Popper's Place. Today I'm going to try to show you how to put together the A2 surprise box card from Honeybee Stamps. I, not too long ago, won a gift certificate to Honeybee from Kiona, the craft therapist, on one of her hops, and I just love this little A2 surprise box. It's so much fun. It is, however, tricky to put together for the first time. So you are going to see my mistakes today, and I hope that you will learn from them. And when you go to put yours together, it will be so much easier. So with this set, you need to cut out 2 of the largest die to create the box. You also need to cut out 3 of the inserts and up to 4 of the small layered pieces for the sides. One side piece has scalloped edges and one does not, and they differ slightly in size so that they can be layered. I chose to do 2 of each size for my design. I also used a honeycomb stamp from Spellbinders on 2 of the sides, and decorative green paper from Stampin' Up! For the other 2 sides. I also used this honeycomb folder from Stampin' Up! To give the outside of the box extra texture. In order to get the embossing folder through the big shot, I needed to fold down the sides of the box underneath so that it would go through completely without tearing the sides. Unless you have some really quick drying glue, I really recommend using tear tape to put this box together. I just feel like it has a really good strong hold. I'm not sure why I went with the 1/8 inch tape. I should have used my wider tape, but I did, and you will see here as I put it together, it is not coming together like it should. And I lined up the inserts starting with the fold, which is okay, but then I put one in front of the fold, and that's where we found the problem. I have to admit, it's rather comical watching me trying to put this together. At the time, it didn't feel very funny, but watching it, it's pretty funny. Once I realized that it wasn't going to come together the way I had it, I took out the 3 inserts, retaped them, and put them in correctly. The inserts could actually be placed further apart if you wanted to, and once I got it all together and folded it correctly, I was just so excited to have a box. It's just the cutest little thing ever. The next step is decorating, and it is the best part. I really enjoy the decorating part here, and you're really unlimited into where you can take this box. It could be quite elaborate if you wanted it to be. I actually was creating this as a thank you. My husband needed a thank you card, and I really wanted to use the box, so that's where I was heading with this. However, when I got to the end, he's like, "That's really cute, honey, but I'm giving this to a guy," and no, not gonna do it. I'm using the freebie and a die from Honeybee Stamps that comes along when you purchase $50 or $100. You get the die when you spend $100. And this one's really cute. It says, "You are unbelievably generous." And I like how the words are kind of cut apart a little bit so that you can put those where you want to. This is the first time I'm using the stamp, so I had to like clean it off a little bit and get that sticky residue off. And I had to stamp it several times to really get it to stamp completely. With the B, there's just a lot of area there to cover, and maybe my Memento ink is a little bit dry, I'm not sure. But and then I also, I think, used the VersaFine on the words. I really like the VersaFine for the really dark color it gives, especially with wording. Normally I would have chosen to use my Spectrum Noir pens, but I used my Stampin' Up! Markers because I wanted to match the colors of the paper that I was using, and it was Stampin' Up! Paper, so the pens matched exactly. And of course I had to add some sparkle and shine, so I used the Spectrum Noir sparkle pen and add some shimmer, and then I also use one of the jelly roll type pens with the sparkle and add some of that as well into the flowers. I used one of my favorite dies from Tailored Expressions. It's a grass die, and I use it quite frequently. It's got to be my most used die, and I just cut a strip of grass in some pattern paper that matches the other pattern paper that I used earlier, and cut a strip for the different places inside the box. So the rectangular die with the 6 skinny strips is to cut out acetate with, and those strips will be used to pop up your items inside the box. And what I found is that it doesn't cut through the acetate quite as easily as you would like, and so you want to run it through a couple times, and or that could just be my machine, or user error, but for me they didn't cut out completely, and I had to use my scissors to cut them out the rest of the way. Another thing to be aware of is that when you use double stick tape to put the acetate onto your items for inside the box, it will show through the acetate. So I end up going back and redoing my tape because it is showing, and I only wanted to put a little bit at the top behind the B and then a little bit at the bottom, so it was stick to the inside of the inserts. Of course, you could use glue, but I was just afraid that it would slip and fall before it actually had time to dry. And then when you put your items inside the box, you want to make sure that they don't go too high, that they go over the top of the box when it's closed. After adding the bee and the unbelievably to the box, I added another strip of the grass, and then also 3 of the flowers that matched the set and came with that. And then I colored them the same way and added those into the grass. I wanted to add more outside the edges of the box, and so I got out a MFT stamp set with bees and hive, and I stamped 3 bees and 1 of the hives and colored those partially with my Spectrum Noir and partially with regular Stampin' Up! Markers. And for some reason I colored the little bees' wings differently than I colored the wings of the bee inside the box. I'm not sure why I did that, and I should have made them coordinate better. But and then I added some of the little bee trails to the side, and once again, that's something if I would have thought ahead and done that earlier, I would have liked better, because I kind of had to prop my hand under there to get it to stamp, and it turned out okay, but I probably would have liked it had I done it before I added the panels onto the sides. And as a finishing touch, I added some white highlights to the big bee, and I added a few black sequins, and I just think this is just such a fun little box. I really like all the different variations you can make with it. I need to use it more often. It just takes a lot of time to put together, and just have to be really creative, and gotta get those creative juices flowing. But I thank you so much for watching this. Please check out Kiona's YouTube channel, Kiona the Craft Therapist, and thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe and come back again soon. Take care, y'all. Bye.